going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back here today to my reaction to the Athletics final mock draft here on November 18th, 2020. So the NBA draft is finally here. It is tonight. I will be live streaming my full first round reactions on my main channel. That will be up, or I'll start live streaming. I think the draft starts at 7, so around 6:50, 7 o'clock, because the draft won't actually start till like 7:20 probably. So be on the lookout for that on the main channel. And yeah, we're going to be reacting to the Athletics final mock draft at 3 o'clock Eastern. So you guys are definitely seeing this after 3 o'clock Eastern. I just uploaded my final mock draft, yeah, on the main channel. If any trades happen, I will upload an updated version to Twitter later. But this is my final YouTube mock draft. It just went up on the main channel. After you watch this, I'd really appreciate you checking that out. So I will leave a link to the Athletic article in the description below. It was either I react to the Athletics final mock draft or Bleacher Reports, and I was like, we've done a lot of Bleacher Report articles. Let's react to Sam Vecenie's, Sam Vecenie's final mock draft. So let's get into this. He has Anthony Edwards going #1 of the Timberwolves. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be LaMelo Ball. Little spoiler alert for my #1 pick in my mock draft. I have LaMelo Ball going #1. I like the fit better with Anthony Edwards. I've been saying this since the lottery, but I think they're going to go for the more star name in LaMelo Ball at #1. So I disagree, because this is probably not what he would do. This is what he thinks could happen. I disagree. Does he have James Wiseman at 2? He does. Okay, we can agree on that. So I do think James Wiseman will be going #2 as well. It just makes total sense. They have their guards, they have their forwards. Get that center in James Wiseman or trade down. I would be cool with trading down if I'm Minnesota as well. Maybe trade down to like the 5 or 9 range. You snag like a Tyrese Halliburton or an Isaac Okoro, and then you get a future asset or a player. I'd be open to that. At 3, I'm guessing he has LaMelo Ball. Yes. So now in this case, if I'm the Knicks or any other team that wants LaMelo, I am throwing the kitchen sink to get up at 3. And it's not even the kitchen sink you're going to have to give up. Like for the Knicks, they just traded for 23. They could probably do 8-23 in the 2023 Mavericks pick for #3. I'm sure the Hornets would be interested in Julius Randle as well to move up, and the Knicks just have to take on like Nicholas Batum's contract. I think that could be a case, definitely. But if Edwards and Wiseman go 1 and 2, even though it's not like the best fit in the world of LaMelo in Charlotte with other primary ball handlers in Rozier and Graham, I still like, this is the pick you make 100%. For Denny Avdia, okay, we still don't know. There's a report that Chicago could trade up with Wendell Carter Jr. to 2. They could take Patrick Williams at 4. They could take Isaac Okoro here. They could take Killian Hayes. They could take Denny Avdia. They could take Obi Toppin. They could take Devin Vassell. They could take Tyrese Halliburton. They could take so many different guys here at 4. Denny seems like he's the pick now. So I agree. 5, Cavs, Obi Toppin. I have the same thing. Okay, I can't keep spoiling my mock, but it's looking a little similar to my mock. Halliburton to the Hawks at 6. I think this is a good pick. I think you either go Halliburton, Okoro, or Vassell here at 6. So I do agree with Sam on that. Pistons at 7, Patrick Williams. This has been the report that they love Patrick Williams. If I were them here, I'd just take Killian Hayes. Maybe think about Onyeka Okongwu. Because, yes, you're drafting Patrick Williams to mainly be your stretch 4. And I think he's very good. I think he has a high ceiling as well. Or, excuse me, a very high floor. Maybe not as high of a ceiling as Killian Hayes. But how does he fit with Christian Wood and Sekou Doumbouya? Is one of those kind of getting out of there? Is maybe you not bringing back Christian Wood, or Sekou you maybe view as a 3 or not a long-term starter? There is questions to ask for Troy Weaver and the Pistons if they do take Patrick Williams. Moving on to 8, Knicks taking Isaac Okoro. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if Okoro and Vassell are both on the board, they're going to take Vassell, because both, like, Thibodeau obviously wants defense, and both are good defenders. Okoro is a better defender, but I think they also value Vassell's offensive potential and output a little bit more than Okoro's. And I think they like the gap between Vassell and Okoro on defense a little bit better than the gap of Okoro and Vassell on offense. So I think if the Knicks have Vassell on the board at 8, they're going to take him. But hey, if they can go Okoro, Vassell, or Killian Hayes, all 3 of those players are on the board at 8, sign me up. But you'll see my reaction on draft night, hoping they don't mess it up. Washington, 9, Onyeka Okongwu. Check that off. That's a great fit there. He does have the leg injury or the foot injury, but I think it's just a fractured foot, and he's only missing 1 to 3 weeks, so it's not too bad. Suns, Devin Vassell, yep, him or Isaac Okoro, whoever the Knicks pretty much don't take a pick 8, I think is the pick here for Phoenix. Now that they don't need a point guard since they just traded for Chris Paul. Next up we have is the San Antonio Spurs taking Saddiq Bey. I like other forwards here, possibly, namely Aaron Nessmith. But I wouldn't mind Saddiq Bey for them either. I think they should take a wing, more of a, I guess you could say more towards a power forward wing than a shooting guard, or not like a power forward wing, but like, you know what I mean? More of a small forward, I guess you could say, but I don't really like to say that there's positions anymore. Like a bigger size wing rather than a smaller one, like Lonnie Walker. I'm saying he's small and he's like 6'3", 6'4", and I'm 5'8", but you know what I mean? I like Aaron Nessman a little bit better there, but I don't mind Saddiq Bey at all either. Kings at 12, Killian Hayes. Just go watch my mock draft, man. Go watch my mock draft. It's like I wrote this article. No, I'm just kidding. But I like Killian Hayes at 12 to Sacramento. It's crazy. He can go as high as 4 to Chicago, but as low as 12 to Sacramento. His range is huge. Huge from what I'm seeing in mock drafts. Yeah, his range, it starts in the mid-lottery, so that's around like 7, 6, 7, 8, and extends to below the end of the lottery. Gotcha. Pelicans, 13, Kyra Lewis Jr. I love that. You guys know I was huge on Kyra going to the Pelicans. I don't think they're going to go point guard, though, with them trading for basically George Hill and Eric Bledsoe, and they have Lonzo Ball. You don't need another primary ball handler unless they end up moving George Hill, and then you could, I guess. I think they would go wing or big man here instead. 14, Celtics taking RJ Hampton. Maybe. I think with Precious Achiuwa and Jalen Smith on the board, they would go with one of those two guys over another guard. Orlando taking Tyrese Maxey at 15. I like that, especially if Kyra Lewis and Killian Hayes are both off the board. Rockets taking Pokusevski. Ooh. I guess as a good shooter, and then he can mold into that Rockets offense, I could get behind that. I didn't have him even. I didn't even think twice about sending Pokusevski to Houston, but I could definitely get behind that selection. Next up, we have the Timberwolves taking Precious Achiuwa. Hey, if they take Anthony Edwards and Precious Achiuwa in this draft, it's a perfect draft because then you kind of have your rotation going into next year. Say you have Russell. Say you have Edwards, Culver, Okogie, Precious Achiuwa, and then Towns. Hey, that's a fun starting five. That's a young starting five that has a lot of room for improvement, so I could definitely get behind that. Next up, we have Mavericks taking Josh Green. I think they need that. I think they need the 3-and-D guy with that potential. Could be a spot-up shooter for Luka and also be a good defender on that on the other end of the floor. Big fan of Josh Green in Dallas. Next up, we have... So he kind of has the draft ranges between these guys. I'm actually intrigued to see where's Patrick Williams' draft range. Is it all over the place? It might be. So his draft range is... Let's see. It is... Given how prevalent the Pistons rumor is for Williams, it would be stunning to see someone try to jump up to take him. At this point, I think you'd be surprised if he's got beyond 11. Okay. Next up, we have the 19, the Brooklyn Nets taking Aaron Nessman, who kind of falls in this draft. Yeah, he falls all the way to 19. I mean, his range is crazy as well. So his range, he thinks, starts here. All right. I have Nessman a little bit higher. But hey, maybe he will go 19. Fantastic shooter. But I feel like he'll go possibly in the top like 17 because he's a fantastic shooter on a wing with size and potential to be a good defender in the NBA. I feel like that's so valuable. Like I think the Spurs could take Nesmith. I think the Pelicans could take Nesmith. I think the Magic could take Aaron Nesmith as well. Miami at 20, Desmond Bane. There is a lot of similarities from his mock to mine. But yeah, shooting. They have a great player development staff. Just look at Duncan Robinson. That's why you take Desmond Bane. Next up, we got Philly taking Tyrol Terry. I would be upset if this happened because the Knicks are at 23 and I would love Tyrol Terry or Cole Anthony there. But I'll talk about more when the draft starts later in the live stream. But yeah, perfect fit for them. They need a guard that could shoot, especially a primary ball handler that maybe can run the point while Ben Simmons is playing kind of more inside. So I can get behind this and running the pick and roll as the roller, not the or as the guy setting the picks, not the guy with the ball in his hands. 22, Jalen Smith. Yeah, they could view him as a player that could play next to Jokic, like on the offensive end. Jokic could obviously be in the post, but spread out more because he's a good shooter. Jalen Smith can shoot it, which I don't know how good of a shooter he's going to be in the NBA, but since he actually does have an outside shot, I think that's so valuable. I don't think he falls to 22. I think he can go to Boston at 14. I think he can go to maybe San Antonio, even likes Milan, could take him at 11. I think that Houston would like him at 16. So, and like definitely Minnesota at 17. I don't think he falls to 22. Next up, we have Utah taking Jaden McDaniels. So this isn't updated with the Knicks trade. Yeah, Jaden's been rumored to Utah a lot. Now, I still think Jaden could go to Utah, but with them at 28, not 7, could he fall within these next 4 picks? Not sure. I don't know if he can make it past the Pelicans or the Thunder, as he has the Pelicans taking Isaiah Stewart. the big man out of Washington. A little bit undersized as a big, but he is strong. He's got a good frame, a crazy long wingspan, and he's tough. He's physical with a high motor, as he kind of wrote right there. And I think he'll have a spot in the NBA. I don't know ever as like a good starting center, but as a backup. And hey, you can even compare him to Clint Capella if you want to. I kind of see the similarities. OKC taking Theo Maledon here at 25. This is from the Jeremy Grant trade. I like Theo Maledon. They're going to be bad next year. Might as well take somebody that definitely is a project player and needs kind of room for improvement to develop and go through the rough patches of being a rookie point guard. And I think OKC is a good spot for him as they're a developing young team. Next up, we have Boston taking Leandro Barro. Hey, if you're going to make all 3 first-round picks, this is a good one because, hey, I said hey twice there. I don't know why. But he'll be overseas next year and maybe a year after, so you can let him develop over there while still keeping your team here and not having to like lose minutes to somebody in your rotation for a rookie here. So I like that for Boston. Knicks, please. I would have been honestly content if the Knicks took Cole Anthony at 8, but now that's looking like a massive reach because everyone's mocking him post 20. So please tell me the Knicks get Cole Anthony or Tyrol at 23. I will be so happy. Next up, we have OKC with the Dennis Schroeder trade taking Robert Woodyard, combo wing forward out of Mississippi State. 3-and-D guy, can't go wrong here. I think I'd prefer Woodyard on like a more win-now team, like the team behind him, like the Raptors. So for OKC here, I'm trying to think like who I can get behind with this pick. Maybe Jameis Ramsey, maybe Isaiah Joe, maybe Paul. Actually, give me Paul Reed here. Zeke Naji, 29 to the Raptors. Yeah, they're going to need a big man. Ibaka's possibly gone. Marcus Saul might be gone. Chris Boucher might be gone. They need another big man. So I'm all for them drafting a center. Either it's Zeke Naji, Vernon Carey, Daniel Oturu, Isaiah Stewart at 29. And then finally, we have the Celtics taking Xavier Tillman, or him as well, out of Michigan State. A very good defender, somebody that works well in the pick and roll on both sides of the floor. I think would be a good pick for Boston as they need a big in this draft. So second round, anything that shoots out to me. So he is Daniel Oturu. I like him a little bit more than Zeke Naji, Xavier Tillman, and Isaiah Stewart. He has him going 32. Jordan Nwora going the first pick in the second round. Kind of surprised to see him with Malachi Flynn falling to the second round. Wow, Philly ends up with Tyrell Terry and Malachi Flynn. That's pretty nice. For my Knicks, he's got Emmanuel Quickly. Okay. I like Quickly. I kind of like Ashton Higgins a little bit more. Tyler Bay going 40. Nico Mannion 41. I prefer Grant Riller probably a little bit higher to maybe more of a win-now team than a developing team like the Bulls. Jameis Ramsey falling to 45. Gotcha. Vernon Carey falling all the way to 50. Could definitely see that happening. Paul Reed, 54. No. I would take him. I would possibly take him at the end of the first round. I could get behind that. And then Kenny Martin Jr. out of IMG right there. That's pretty much it for his mock draft. So yeah, that is going to be my reaction to the Athletics final mock draft. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like I said, if you want to see my mock draft, I did just upload it on my main channel, so go check that out. Link to my main channel is in the description below. And then I hope I can see you guys at my draft stream later today. So thank you all for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.